Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with the head coach of the Heber Springs Panthers, Caleb Carmichael. This Pigskin Preview is sponsored by First Community Bank.
I'm Chloe Cordell, and I'm here today with Coach Caleb Carmichael from Heber Springs High School, and we are going to talk about the Panther football today. So what are your expectations for this upcoming season?
Well, this is my first year here at Heber Springs. I grew up here and graduated in 2011, and so coming home is very special to me. But with it being my first year, I want our kids and our coaches to have the mindset that we're going to show up to work every day and try to get better, and hopefully can stack good days on top of each other. And by the time football season gets here, have an opportunity to be competitive.
Yeah. So how's your team getting ready for the season? I mean, building the strengths and fighting for the weaknesses. How are y'all getting ready?
Yeah, we just wrapped up spring practice. We had 10 good days of spring ball, putting the new offense in, and so that's taken some time. We had a spring game Monday night. We thought we had a really good performance from both teams and a good crowd, and it was a good night. So we're working hard. Finished up spring ball, and now we're going into the summertime, and so we're lifting weights and getting in shape for football season.
So have you made any changes to the team since you've gotten here, any team building activities or anything to really create a different strategy for the season?
The biggest change probably football-wise would be our offensive philosophy. They were in the flex bone last year, and what we do is a little bit different. It's still the same concept. We're going to run the football and try to score some points, but the way we do it looks a little different. And so that's taken a little time, a little bit of an adjustment. And as far as the team building and unity type stuff, our motto in our football program is one family, one heartbeat, and that is means something to me. That was what we said when I was in school here, and a football team is a family, and for a lot of these guys, this is the most family type thing that they'll have, and so we care a lot about each other, and I think that culture is instilled through our coaches and our players, and hopefully you'll be able to see that in the way that we play.
Yeah. So adding on that earlier, how have your players individually been preparing for this off season and getting ready for this upcoming season?
Well, work for football season starts as soon as the previous one is over, and they did a great job this off season of really committing themselves to the weight room, getting bigger and faster and stronger, and that's still a big focus of ours because there was a time period where there wasn't a lot of emphasis placed on the weights here, and you could see it in the way that the kids looked, and so the last staff did a good job of getting that culture back where it should be, and we're trying to build off of it now. So just continuing to try to get bigger, faster, stronger, and I think the group as a whole has really bought into that.
Yeah, are there any players that are really outstanding to you, or any emerging talent coming up?
I think we've got a lot of good players. Offensively, our quarterback returns, Liam Buffalo, and I think he's got a chance to have a special season. We've got a pretty talented running back, Weston Warden, who will also be a senior. Got a couple of big offensive linemen. We returned 10 on defense off of a pretty good defense, and so there's guys in a lot of spots that I think are going to make an impact for us, and I'm excited to watch them continue to develop.
Yeah, that's great. So how are you working to develop the younger players into becoming these athletes and getting ready for Panther football?
Yeah, I think being a lot of times when you're a sophomore, you go into the season and it's not – sophomore year is not very fun for a lot of kids just because, you're really not quite physically or mentally ready to play on Friday nights. But we preach to them, and we coach them just like we do the older, the varsity kids, and preach to them that they've got to have the mindset that, number one, I'm only one play away from being on the field if someone gets hurt, and number two, that this time period of your sophomore year, whether you're a starter or not, is a huge crucial for your development to when it is your time to play on Friday nights. And so we try to preach that mindset in all of our kids.
What are the key adjustments you're making to your coaching strategy this year, since it's your first year in the Panther football from a coach perspective instead of an athlete?
Yeah, I think some of the things that we will see from teams in our conference is a little bit. This is my first year in Class 4A. I've coached 2A and 3A football, and so I think maybe at this level, teams, I call the offense, for example, and so the defenses we'll face are probably a little more sound than some of the teams that we had seen at the 2 and 3A level. And so that I'm excited about that challenge. This is a whole new level of football for me. But at the end of the day, football's still football, and you've got to be able to block, tackle, and take care of the ball. And those are the things that we preach in our program above any scheme or strategy or anything like that. It's the fundamentals of the game.
Yeah, so adding on that, like the challenges and game situations, how do you plan to handle those in a game setting?
I think it's all about the way that you practice. We try to make practices just as, if not more intense than games will be, so they can just go out there and play fast on Friday nights. And if a player encounters a situation in a game that he wasn't prepared for, then that's on us as coaches. And so we try to have them ready for everything. And then as coaches ourselves, we try to prepare for any situation that we might encounter on a Friday night. So we already have the answer ready instead of having to make it in an emotional moment.
So are there any specific teams y'all are looking at, like opponents that you're really preparing for this season?
Absolutely. Our big rival is Clinton. It's a trophy game, and they call it the Battle of the Little Red. And Clinton has actually won maybe 7 or 8 in a row. Actually, since they made the trophy, I don't think Heber Springs has won it yet. So that's a big game. It means a lot to both communities, and both communities do a lot of community service type stuff throughout that week. So it's a pretty neat rivalry. I'm excited I've been a part of it as a player, and I'm very excited to be a part of it as a coach. And we talk about Clinton every single day. We go for 365 days a year in our program, and we want to go over there and get that trophy and bring it back home.
Ready to win it this year. Definitely. So how do you foster your team's unity and a positive culture among players, even at different schools?
I think, football is all about unity. It's the ultimate team sport. I think every football team that will play, everybody's got 1 or 2 kids that are exceptional. The key to being a good football team is player number 2 through 30. How have you developed them? How hard are they going to play? And having that true unity and togetherness. And like I said, one family, one heartbeat. We preach it in our program every day. And, I believe our kids are bought into that mindset, and we're a family.
As a first-year coach at Heber Springs, how are you supporting your players and getting them ready for the season on and off of the field?
I think I can relate to them because I've been in the exact same locker room that they're in and the same meeting rooms that they're in. And I think that probably gave me a little bit of credibility coming in. And myself and all of our coaches, we're relationship-first coaches. I think if once your players see that you care about them, not just as a football player, but as a human being, they're going to play a lot harder for you. And I also think that players take on the role of their coach, whether it be their head coach or their coordinator, or their position coach. And I think we've got a lot of great coaches in our office, good men, and that's who we want, guys on our staff that our kids will look up to.
Do you think the one-on-one personal connection with each athlete really helps build the team even more together?
Absolutely, it does. Like I said, we coach every kid, whether it's the starting quarterback or the 5th string lineman. We coach them all hard. Now we coach them out of love. Like I said, we care about them as individuals and not just as football players. And I think that's why they're going to play so hard for us. But I think it's crucial to have a one-on-one relationship with every kid that you coach.
So for this upcoming season, what are your goals to see come from this team? What do you want to achieve this season?
Obviously going into every year, one of our biggest goals is going to be to beat Clinton. And we want to put ourselves in position throughout the non-conference to be ready to make a run in the conference play. And then the way that we play in conference play will hopefully set us up to make a run in the postseason. But you can't look ahead. And so I think if you have the mindset that we're worried about today and we win today, then come back and win tomorrow and stack, like I said, stack those good days on top of each other, then you have a chance to be really good.
Yeah, so how do you define success for your team?
Success is there's a lot of different ways that you could define it. Obviously, on Friday nights, the success is defined by what the scoreboard says. But it's a lot more than just that. I think, to me, success as coaches for us is 10 years from now, whenever a football player comes back to visit and he's got a wife and a family, and he says, this is, some lesson that you taught me back when I was playing helped me get through adversity and things like that. To me, that's success as a coach. And I know that's the way I feel about the coaches that I played for, and I hope that my players feel the same way about me.
Yes, definitely. What are your expectations on how far your team will make it in the playoffs this year?
I think that all depends on what type of summer we have. I think we're on a good path right now to set ourselves up to make a run, but there's a long time between now and then. So don't want to look too far ahead. We're just worried about getting better each day.
Yeah, definitely. So how does your team connect with the school and local community? Are they involved in community activities, helping around the city?
They will be. Heber Springs is a special community, and they really are very passionate about football. And I think it's our job as a football program to give back to the community. And so there'll be some things that we'll do throughout the summer to give back to the community in different ways. And like I said, I think that's what makes this place so special.
How important is community support to the success of the team?
It's what drives this community, and the school drive each other. I think when a football team has success early in the year, that sets the tone for an entire school year, and that gets a community excited for an entire year of things going forward. And so I think, like I said, the community support in a place like Heber Springs is vital to our success.
Definitely. What role does the team play in the broader context of school spirit and pride?
Well, like I said, this is my fourth head coaching job now, so I've been in several different places. And everywhere I've been, a good football season sets the tone for an entire school year. And then I've seen success on the football field carry over into the next sport, and then success on the basketball court carries over into the spring sports. And so that there's nothing like a Friday night in a small town, and you got the band and the cheerleaders, and it's not just a game, it's a community event. And so I think football plays a vital role in school spirit.
It just brings up the whole community.
It does.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.